the 47th Quadrennial Democratic National Convention to order.
Awesome and wonderful God of the universe, you are the one who created the world and all who live in it.
Where's the flag?
It's right there.
Where?
Right behind you. Ready?
I am proud to say that there are no unresolved credentials issues to be decided by the Credentials Committee.
It is my great pleasure to report the officers, the permanent officers, recommended by the Rules Committee.
I am honored to accept this gavel as permanent chair of the Democratic National Convention, and I am excited to put Hillary Clinton and Tim Kaine in the White House.
She would have been, my grandmothers would have been so proud. And I also get to work with Barney Free.
Now let me share with you that the primary season brought to light some issues we need to address as a Democratic family. So I ask you,
I'm a state representative from the beautiful city of Portland, Maine, a proud delegate for Bernie Sanders. And I am the one who introduced the First Amendment to reform the superdelegate system.
We're here to nominate Hillary Clinton because of her
The true test is whether he helps those less fortunate. It will help the less fortunate. Our platform has passed my father's test, and it has done so not by seeking common ground, but aspiring to higher ground.
And I believe we and Hillary Clinton have the answer.
And that's exactly who we are nominating, Hillary Clinton and Tim Kaine.
And I'm proud to be one of the 1,900 delegates here tonight from the Bernie Sanders campaign. You see, I hail from the great state of Maryland.
we also saved them a seat, an empty chair that will serve as a reminder of those members and POWs and what they did for our country.
Right here in the sweltering summer of 1776, a nation was conceived.
In support of Hillary Clinton. In behalf of our future and in recognition of our proud past.
In the city of brotherly love, to nominate our first sister president.
I will become the first Dominican American to ever serve in the U.S. Congress.
Can we move the prompter a second? Well, I'll say that again. Thank you very much.
And I got a message for Donald J. Trump. Nosotros no construyemos muros, los tumbamos.
And we will not allow this country to return to an era of discrimination.
Whether our families came to this country in 1776 or 1976 or 2016, this country belongs to all of us.
A child thought to be, as the term was used in the early 1960s, mentally retarded as late as the 4th grade.
We believe that we have a mission, a mandate, and a responsibility to work, fight, and act.
And those are the same values that he brought to this campaign, and our party and our country are better for it.
We are a diverse caucus, and we bring an important perspective to the decisions that shape the future of our country.
Good evening, delegates. My name is Marty Walsh, and I'm an alcoholic.
We keep our community safe and strong, feeding school kids, healing patients, plowing roads, and answering 911 calls.
I worked in the mines with tough guys. I know tough guys. They're friends of mine. And Donald, you're no tough guy. You're a phony.
Donald Trump sees immigrants as criminals, as drug dealers, as rapists.
Repeat after me. I believe.
But with collapsed bridges, crumbling roads, and stressed energy systems, we know it's past time to rebuild.
Last week, we saw a festival of fear. Every day was full of hate and bigotry.
You see, my daughter and her boyfriend had a beautiful little boy named Francis, but they got caught up in drugs. It started with the pain medication she was given after Francis was born.
The opioid and heroin epidemic is ravaging communities all across this country.
Like millions of Americans, I am living with mental illness.
Together, we must fight for a government.
And today I'm gonna tell you guys a story about my parents, about the deportation of immigration.
But while my friends did ordinary things, I couldn't, because my parents were afraid that someone might discover I was undocumented.
They weren't educated, they didn't speak English, but they didn't even have a winter coat.
How do you tell your kids not to be a bully if their president is one?
For example, where's this losing country he keeps talking about?
And he would strip away the rights of transgender Americans.
This November, we have a choice. You can choose a candidate who's only out for himself.
The last thing Ohioans need is a president who has crushed small businesses by not paying them for the work they did.
They're struggling with too little time, too little money, and too little support. And Washington hasn't caught up to their reality.
The expert on right-wing megalomaniacs. Rush Limbaugh, Bill O'Reilly, and now Donald Trump.
I first met Hillary as First Lady on a visit to the White House.
Hillary.
Unity.
Hillary.
The Bernie, can I just say, to the Bernie or bust people, you're being ridiculous.
Mocked a disabled reporter. He was also mocking my special needs sister, Lisa.
With your bitter, twisted lies, you may trod me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I rise. Well, y'all know it.
When you lose a spouse, you know that your life will change forever. You know that it won't be easy.
No, our motto is, when they go low, we go high. So that today, I wake up every morning in a house that was built by slaves.
Mr. Kennedy, what is the definition of a sunset?
You know, for me, this choice is personal.
You know, we must push back. Voting is not voting is not a protest. It is a surrender.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone know what that average contribution was? Right.
I look forward to your votes during the roll call tomorrow night. I understand that many people here in this convention hall and around the country are disappointed about the final results of the nominating process. Together, my friends, we have begun a political revolution to transform America, and that revolution, our revolution, continues. This election is not about and has never been about Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump or Bernie Sanders or any of the other candidates who sought the presidency. It is not about all the things that the media spends so much time discussing. It is no secret that Hillary Clinton and I disagree on a number of issues. I have known Hillary Clinton for 25 years. I remember her as you do, and I am proud to stand with her tonight. Thank you all very much.
God of goodness, you have given a beautiful earth to all humankind and a beautiful country to the American people.
The second session of the 47th Quadrennial National Convention of the Democratic Party will now come to order.
In the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful.
I pledge allegiance to the flag.
Oh, say, can you say?
26 years ago today, our nation won a hard-fought battle to end discrimination for over 50 million people when we signed into law the Americans with Disabilities Act, the ADA.
I'm honored to join you tonight, representing not only the South, but the great Commonwealth of Kentucky.
Nominating documents from 2 Democratic candidates for the office of President of the United States, Senator Bernie Sanders and Secretary Hillary Clinton. As such,
as Bernie has said, the truth is, when you hurt, when your children hurt, I hurt. To care about lives lost, lives ruined, and countries destroyed by counterproductive regime change wars. I am truly honored to nominate Bernie Sanders for President of the United States.
I proudly rise to second the nomination of Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont.
Seconding the nomination of our friend and hero, Senator Bernie Sanders.
I proudly place Hillary Clinton's name in nomination to be the next president.
Second the nomination of Hillary Clinton as the party candidate for the President of the United States.
Where a child born into poverty can stand to nominate the woman she admired as a little girl.
we will now proceed to a roll call vote of the states.
The state of Alabama, 50 champion votes for Secretary Hillary Rodham Clinton, and we cast 9 votes for Senator Bernie Sanders.
Alaska casts 6 votes for the next President of the United States, Hillary Clinton, and 14 votes for the inspiring, progressive Bernie Sanders.
American Samoa
3 for Bernie Sanders, and 8. And if you give us more, we'd cast those 2 for the next President of the United States, Hillary Clinton!
Arizona cast 34 votes for Senator Sanders.
And 51 votes for the next President of the United States of America, Hillary Rodham Clinton!
Arkansas cast 10 votes for Bernie Sanders, who campaigned from his heart. And now Arkansas enthusiastically casts 27 votes for the next President of the United States, Hillary Clinton.
California cast for Bernie Sanders 221 votes. And for Hillary Clinton, the next President of the United States, 330 votes.
Colorado, 41 delegates are casting their votes for Senator Bernie Sanders. 36 delegates for Hillary Clinton and 1 abstention. Connecticut,
27 votes for Bernie Sanders and 44 votes for the next President of the United States, Hillary Clinton.
Delaware cast 9 votes for Bernie Sanders and cast 23 votes for the next President of the United States, Hillary Clinton.
Democrats abroad, our delegates from around the world include Larry Sanders, the big brother of Bernie Sanders. 7 votes for the next great President of the United States, Hillary Clinton.
I want to bring before this convention the names of our parents, Eli Sanders and Dorothy Glassberg Sanders. They did not have easy lives, and they died young. They would be immensely proud of their son and his accomplishments. They loved him.
Democrats.
It is with enormous pride that I cast my vote for Bernie Sanders.
Thank you very much.
I'm the mayor of the District of Columbia. We cast 5 votes for the Honorable Bernie Sanders and 39 votes for the next President, Hillary Rodham Clinton.
The state of Florida, 72 votes for Senator Bernie Sanders and 163 votes for the first woman president.
Georgia Democrats are proud to cast 29 votes for Senator Bernie Sanders and 87 votes for the next President of the United States, Secretary Hillary Clinton.
Half a day from the island of Guam, 2 votes for Senator Bernie Sanders, one absent, and 9 votes for the next President of the United States, Hillary Rodham Clinton.
How about you?
19 votes for the leader of our revolution, which shall continue, Senator Bernie Sanders. 19 votes.
And 15 votes for the next President of the United States, Secretary Hillary Clinton. The state of Idaho that proudly cast 20 votes for Senator Sanders and 7 votes for Hillary Rodham Clinton.
For the great state of Illinois, 74 votes for Bernie Sanders.
This one's for you, Hill. 98 votes. Yes.
Indiana,
43 votes for Senator Bernie Sanders and 48 votes for the next President of the United States, Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Iowa, we proudly cast 21 votes for Senator Bernie Sanders and 30 votes for the first woman to be nominated by any party on the next President of the United States,
Kansas.
23 votes for Senator Bernie Sanders. Yes. And 14 votes for the next President of the United States, Hillary Rodham Clinton.
In the Commonwealth of Kentucky,
27 votes for Senator Bernie Sanders and 33 votes for the next President of the United States of America, Secretary Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Louisiana Democratic Party. 14 votes for Senator Bernie Sanders and 45 votes for the first woman President of the United States, Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Main cast, 18 votes for Senator Bernie Sanders. And 12 votes for Secretary Hillary Rodham Clinton.
The great state of Maryland. 36 votes for a truly great man, Bernie Sanders. And we are excited and we are happy to cast 84 votes for the next President of the United States of America, Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Of Massachusetts, 46 votes for Senator Bernie Sanders. And 68 votes for the next President of the United States, Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Michigan.
66 votes for a great Senator Bernie Sanders. And 81 votes for the next President of the United States, Hillary Clinton. Minnesota.
47 votes for Bernie Sanders.
Cast 42 votes for the next President of the United States, Hillary Clinton.
The great state of Mississippi, 33 votes for Hillary Rodham Clinton and 7 for Bernie Sanders.
Missouri, 35 votes for Bernie Sanders and 49 votes. Hillary Clinton.
Hello from Montana. 12 votes for Senator Bernie Sanders and 14 votes for the next President of the United States, Hillary Clinton.
Nebraska, 13 votes for the honest, hardworking Hillary Clinton. And 16 votes for the man who electrified Nebraska and the United States, Bernie Sanders.
Nevada.
16 votes for Bernie Sanders and 27 votes for the next President of the United States, Hillary Rodham Clinton.
New Hampshire with 16 votes for the great Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont.
New Hampshire proudly cast 16 votes for the next President of the United States, Hillary Clinton.
New Jersey, for the great Senator of Vermont, 45 votes for Senator Sanders. And for the next President of the United States of America, the first female, and history will be made, 90 votes for Hillary Rodham Clinton.
State of New Mexico. 16 votes for Senator Bernie Sanders. And 27 votes for the first woman President of the United States, Hillary Rodham Clinton.
The great state of New York, 108 delegates to Senator Bernie Sanders and applauds him for his call for unity for all Democrats. And New York State pledges 181 delegates for the next President of the United States, Hillary Rodham Clinton.
The great state of North Carolina, 48 votes for Senator Bernie Sanders and 70 votes for the next President of the United States, Hillary Clinton.
The great state of North
North Dakota. 14 votes for Senator Bernie Sanders. And 7 votes for Secretary Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Northern Mariana Islands, 2 votes for Senator Bernie Sanders. And 9 votes for the next president, the first woman president of the United States, Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Ohio, 62 votes for Senator Bernie Sanders. And 98 votes for the next president of the United States, Hillary Clinton.
The great state of Oklahoma.
Cast 22 votes for Senator Bernie Sanders.
And Oklahoma cast 20 votes for the next president of the United States, Secretary Hillary Clinton.
Oregon cast 34 votes for Secretary Hillary Clinton. And Madam Secretary, Oregon, feeling the burn, cast 38 votes for Senator Bernie Sanders.
Pennsylvania, 82 votes to Bernie Sanders, whose fight for inclusion, justice, and fairness has invigorated our party. And I am honored to announce that Pennsylvania awards 126 votes to the next President of the United States, Hillary Clinton.
The delegation of Puerto Rico, 23 votes for the senator from the Green Mountain State of Vermont, Senator Bernie Sanders. And we salute their energy and spirit of change. And we also cast 44 votes para la próxima presidenta de los Estados Unidos, la amiga de Puerto Rico, Hillary Clinton. Estamos
Island. That's 13 votes for Senator Bernie Sanders and 19 votes for the next President of the United States, Hillary Rodham Clinton.
South Carolina, 13 votes for Bernie Sanders and 46 votes for the next President of the United States, Hillary Clinton.
Of South Dakota, 10 for the Senator Bernie Sanders, who inspired us all, and 15 for the 45th President of the United States, and the first one who will be called Madam President, Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Of Tennessee, 23 votes for Senator Bernie Sanders, and 50 votes for the first woman president of the United States, Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Texas, 72 votes for the progressive champion, Senator Bernie Sanders from Vermont. And 179 votes for the next President of the United States, Hillary Rodham Clinton.
The great state of Utah, 29 votes for Senator Bernie Sanders and 8 votes for Secretary Hillary Clinton.
Vermont passes.
The United States Virgin Islands, for Hillary Clinton, 12 votes.
Virginia, 33 votes for Senator Sanders. And Virginia cast 75 votes for the next President of the United States, Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Washington State Democratic Party, 74 votes for the inspiring and transformative Senator Bernie Sanders. And 42 votes for the exceptional and groundbreaking next President of the United States, Secretary Hillary Rodham Clinton.
West Virginia cast 19 votes for the next President of the United States, Hillary Rodham Clinton, and 18 votes for Senator Bernie Sanders.
Wisconsin, 49 votes for Senator Bernie Sanders, and we cast 47 votes for the next President of the United States, Secretary Hillary Clinton.
Of the Wyoming Democratic Party. 7 votes for Senator Bernie Sanders, and 11 votes for the next President of the United States, the first woman President of the United States, Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Vermont casts our votes. 22 votes for our beloved Senator Sanders, and 4 for the next President, Hillary Clinton. It is now my honor to present our Senator Bernie Sanders.
I move that the convention suspend the procedural rules. I move that all votes cast by delegates be reflected in the official record. And I move that Hillary Clinton be selected as the nominee of the Democratic Party for President of the United States.
All in favor of the motion, say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it.
And it's a day that I guarantee you will remember forever, because you will be able to say, I was there when we nominated Hillary Clinton to be the next President of the United States of America.
We are preparing to shatter the highest, strongest marble ceiling in our country by electing Hillary Clinton, President of the United States.
Success of women is more important than ever to the strength of working families.
Hillary Clinton and House Democrats believe a stronger America means protecting women's rights and expanding women's opportunities.
More women are starting small businesses than ever before.
And House Democrats will work with President Hillary Clinton to sustain America's lead in innovation.
House Democrats believe that America is strongest when we have an economy that works for everybody, not just those at the top.
And we're proud to stand by Hillary Clinton, a candidate with clear plans to improve the lives of our veterans.
We want the democracy Hillary Clinton believes in.
Democrats are strengthening our fight against terror by working with our allies, not abandoning them.
Our city takes it personally that Congress refuses to disarm hate.
When my grandfather accepted the Democratic nomination for president, he stood before this group and said, "It is time for America to move and to speak not with boasting and belligerence, but with a quiet strength."
And when Hillary Clinton wins the White House and Democrats win back the Senate majority,
it's night two. Who's pumped up?
She saw children who had been beaten, burned, and neglected.
In 1972, Hillary traveled to Alabama on a mission.
She went door to door in Massachusetts, gathering stories from disabled children.
Until the 1970s, young people who got in trouble in South Carolina were often housed in the same prison cells as adults.
She put the schools she visited to what she called the Chelsea test.
Hillary began working on adoption and foster care issues as a law student and never stopped.
I spent my childhood in the New York foster care system, moving from home to home with a trash bag as my suitcase.
I'm no spring chicken. I've seen some things in my time. If you were one of the young men growing up in these areas, the odds were stacked against you.
That she has the skills to serve as commander-in-chief
and the strength to lead our already great nation in this hour of challenge and consequence. Now, did you hear what I just said?
And yet there is a crisis, especially in the eyes of many of the communities that we serve.
Hillary Clinton has spoken of watching Nelson Mandela embrace his former jailers.
Hey, I need you all to hear me tonight.
When your child dies, you don't stop being a parent.
I am an unwilling participant in this movement. I would not have signed up for this.
Are there any women in the audience tonight?
This year isn't just about electing the first woman president. It's about electing this woman president.
I'm Lena Dunham, and according to Donald Trump, my body is probably like a 2.
And I'm America Ferrera, and according to Donald Trump, I'm probably a rapist.
I'm here as a father with a promise to keep.
I want to talk to you very personally, because I've known Hillary Clinton for more than 20 years.
The horrific attacks on September 11th, 2001 rocked my hometown and our country to their core.
Beginning that horrible morning, we worked in the smoke and the ash to search.
I was catastrophically burned, over 82% of my body. My chances of survival next to 0.
Then I got the news. 2 planes had crashed into the World Trade Center.
We were the working poor. Still, we had our eyes on a future where we were just like the folks on TV. More the Jeffersons than good times. Y'all feel me?
For me, quality, affordable health care was more than a privilege, and even more than a right.
And it's going to be won in Colorado, and in Iowa, and North Carolina, and Michigan, and Florida, and Pennsylvania, and then we're going to the White House.
I directed Pitch Perfect 2.
I'm here to make the case for a leader who, as you just saw, is focused on security.
I grew up in a poor village in Indonesia.
At the time, I was a child in Europe, where I lived in fear because my native Czechoslovakia had been taken over by communists.
In the spring of 1971, I met a girl. After the class, I followed her out, intending to introduce myself. I got close enough to touch her back, but I couldn't do it. Somehow I knew this would not be just another tap on the shoulder, that I might be starting something I couldn't stop. When she got to college, her support for civil rights, her opposition to the Vietnam War, compelled her to change parties and become a Democrat. I asked her to marry me, and she said, I can't do it. So the second time I asked, I tried a different tack. I said, I really want you to marry me, but you shouldn't do it. I suggested she go home to Illinois or move to New York and look for a chance to run for office. She just laughed and said, are you out of your mind? Nobody would ever vote for me. When she came back, I picked her up and I said, you remember that house you liked? She said, yeah. I said, while you were gone, I bought it. You have to marry me now. Then I had gone a little over the top when I took a couple of days off with Chelsea to watch all 6 Police Academy movies back to back. And she's the best darn change maker I ever met in my entire life. You know, it's hard and some people think it's boring. Speeches like this are fun. You would say, this woman has never been satisfied. To President Obama in 2008, she worked for his election hard. But she hesitated to say yes when he asked her to join his cabinet. I'm down here because Hillary sent me to tell you, I hope you'll do it. I hope you'll elect her.
We got some fight left in us, don't we?
Hello, Philadelphia. I am so happy. It's been a great day and night. What an incredible honor that you have given me. And I can't believe we just put the biggest crack in that glass ceiling yet. And if there are any little girls out there who stayed up late to watch, let me just say, I may become the first woman president, but one of you is next.
Pray with me. Pray with me.
We are in recess until 4:30 tomorrow. The third session of the 47th Quadrennial National Convention of the Democratic Party will now come to order.
It just intrigues me that the Dallas assassin bore the name Micah and Xavier. So I'm going to borrow from the words of the prophet Micah and the great St. Francis Xavier.
The convention secretary has received nominating documents from one Democratic candidate for the office of Vice President of the United States, Senator Tim Kaine.
Together with more than 1 million Americans, I'm living with HIV.
My parents got divorced when I was 5. My father left for a time and my mother had to go on welfare.
I am a breast cancer survivor.
When women succeed, America succeeds. Right? Right?
We are home to our most powerful institutions.
I am keenly aware of the grave threats that we face.
The primary season has ended, and we have so much to be proud of.
Texas women are tough.
As I prepared for tonight, I thought back on the path that led me to this moment.
Standing with me are my fellow Asian American and Pacific Islander, or AAPI, members of Congress.
An immigrant, the first Asian American woman to be elected to the United States Senate.
I am Congresswoman Bordallo from Guam, the U.S. territory in the Pacific.
As a proud Gaysian, I support Hillary Clinton. I'm Congressman Ami Bera, also from that great state of California.
I'm Congressman Bobby Scott from Virginia.
I am Congressman Ted Lieu from California.
I am from the Northern Mariana Islands.
I'm Congresswoman Grace Meng from New York.
When I was 23 years old, I started my own company. It wasn't easy. 6 months later, I had a stroke.
I am quite familiar with both presidential nominees. But despite sharing a home state, these two people are worlds apart.
Democrats, over the last 4 years, we have lost a number of wonderful leaders and activists.
God is watching me. God don't praise me because I beat Joe Frazier. God don't give nothing about Joe Frazier. God don't care nothing about England or America as far as your wealth. That's all he is. He wants to know, how do we treat each other? How do we help each other?
I come from a family of pioneers.
And it was there that I realized that storytelling amplifies our voice. I'm a Native American. I am a chairman of my tribe, the Agua Caliente Band of Kuya Indians.
I'm Part Cannon. I am a woman. I'm African American. I'm queer.
Assalamu alaikum. Greetings of peace.
I am an immigrant, and I'm also a veteran of the U.S. Army.
Paul Tillich once said, where hate abounds, love must abound even more.
I have known Hillary Rodham Clinton for over 2 decades now.
And I am the mayor of the great city of Flint, Michigan.
read our platform and compare it to the Republican platform.
Together, we have been singled out in the national spotlight as threats to be dealt with and not a part of our American family.
We have 103 days to show the nation that there is a better path for our country.
We are here today standing on the shoulders of giants,
where we stand united with the conviction that we can make our great country even greater.
He's wrong. He's wrong for our families.
Hillary Clinton may be our first woman president, but she will not be our last.
I appreciate the tribute. I really do. I appreciate the tribute.
Today's California is strong and getting stronger. It's a jet-propelled engine of job creation.
When we were kicking in doors looking for insurgents in Iraq, we didn't care about each other's race or religion.
I will never forget the moment I heard that Patrick's helicopter did not return.
I was born in Detroit, and for decades I've watched our city lose tens of thousands of jobs.
President of the United States is the toughest job in the world.
And as an American, I am also deeply concerned about my family's future.
As we just saw, climate change. That sounds good. But I only got 5 minutes, so I gotta get going here.
I was a little scared at first. I wondered if Hillary really knew who I was.
It takes about 5 minutes for a church bell to ring 49 times.
There are days when I wish I hadn't been there.
I should not be here tonight. I don't want to be here tonight.
We mourned 8 police officers that were killed in the line of duty.
And they welcomed him, but then he opened fire. He stole their lives.
My son's last words were, "We mean you no harm."
To heal, we must forgive. That's what I've learned this past year.
And I speak to you tonight as the proud son of 2 New Jersey police officers.
Hello, fellow Democrats.
There are 2 things that I know an awful lot about: law and order.
At the age of 24, I deployed to Iraq.
And he praises dictators from Saddam Hussein to Vladimir Putin. Today, only today,
Together, we will elect the first woman president of the United States.
He's trying to tell us he cares about the middle class. Give me a break. That's a bunch of malarkey.
As the mayor of Atlanta, the city that burned to the ground and rose again from the ashes.
Trump says he wants to run the nation like he's running his business? God help us. I'm a New Yorker, and I know a con when I see one.
I first met Tim Kaine and his amazing wife during his first campaign for city council in Richmond, Virginia.
I humbly accept my party's nomination to be Vice President of the United States. Every time he makes his biggest, hugest promises.
Believe me. It's going to be great. Believe me.
We're going to build a wall and make Mexico pay for it, believe me. We're going to destroy ISIS so fast, believe me. There's nothing suspicious in my tax returns, believe me. When I lived in Honduras, I learned something. The best compliment that you could pay to somebody was to say that they were listo, ready. Not inteligente, smart. Not amable, friendly. Not rico, rich. Hillary Clinton, she's lista. Hillary Clinton is lista.
I am Sharon Belkofer, a mom to 3 boys who served their country.
12 years ago tonight, I addressed this convention for the very first time. 8 years ago, you may remember Hillary and I were rivals for the Democratic nomination. She was doing everything I was doing, but just like Ginger Rogers, it was backwards in heels. Nothing truly prepares you for the demands of the Oval Office. There has never been a man or a woman, not me, not Bill, nobody, more qualified than Hillary Clinton to serve as President of the United States of America. And then there's Donald Trump. Don't boo, vote. Hillary's got her share of critics. She has been caricatured by the right and by some on the left. Tonight, I ask you to do for Hillary Clinton what you did for me.
Almighty God, we come to you tonight because we recognize our desperate need of you.
The fourth and closing session of the 47th Quadrennial National Convention of the Democratic Party will now come to order.
As we close out the final hours of this great convention, I am reminded of Philadelphia's hometown saint, Katharine Drexel, who believed that joy derives from serving and loving our neighbors.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is a time for prayer.
Let us continue in prayer. Majestic and magnificent God,
we ask that the 2016 Democratic National Convention approve a resolution conveying profound appreciation to
delegates. You have heard the motion to approve the honorary resolution.
Thank you. The question was simple.
I'm a state representative, an organizer, and a proud citizen of the White Earth Nation of Ojibwe.
In 2008,
it's an honor to be here after serving as your chairman at our last convention.
I love you too, South Carolina.
Good evening. I'm Jamie Harrison, chairman of the South Carolina Democratic Party.
Last month, our nation was rocked to its core by a senseless and hateful attack.
My name is Cedric Richmond. I'm proud to represent Louisiana.
Hello, America. It is an honor to represent Colorado.
Fat pigs, dogs, disgusting.
Good evening, my fellow Democrats.
How's it going, Democrats?
Good evening, Democrats.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Sean Patrick Maloney.
My name is Sarah McBride, and I am a proud transgender American.
Donald Trump.
Good evening, fellow Democrats.
I'm here tonight, in part,
because my home state of Minnesota has been hit hard by tragedy.
Good evening. Muy buenas noches.
Hello, and thank you for joining us in Philadelphia, the city of brotherly and sisterly love.
I was co-piloting a Black Hawk helicopter over Iraq. A rocket-propelled grenade ripped through our cockpit, and I am only here tonight because of the miracles that followed.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much.
In 1987,
year after year in the Senate, we have faced ridiculous antics from Republicans determined to roll back health care.
In 1995, I was there. I saw Hillary speak.
As a former businesswoman, I can tell you how important family and medical leave is.
Minnesota steelworkers have a group of workers called the Women of Steel.
We all know that Hillary,
As all of us here know, our policies abroad have real consequences at home.
Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton has been a mentor to me throughout my whole career.
When I was 9, I was hospitalized for 3 months with a serious illness.
I am an immigrant.
I believe it is important to fight back when powerful people try to rig the system.
When Hillary Clinton made history.
What's going on, Philadelphia? Who's excited to hear tonight from the next president of the United States, Hillary Clinton?
Good evening. My name is Lorella Praeli, and I'm an American.
In 1922, the only grandparent that I would ever know came to the United States from Mexico.
Good evening, Democrats. Is this a great convention or what?
good evening. It is my honor to stand before you tonight as a proud member of the Progressive California delegation.
I'm from Niles, Ohio, an old manufacturing town in the Steel Belt.
30 years ago, almost to the day, I lost my job.
I'm Mary Steenburgen, a train conductor's daughter from my beloved state of Arkansas.
The guts to fight for people like the 6 Americans you're about to meet.
I am blessed to do the work I believe in.
Like generations of Americans, I've always dreamed about making that proud walk across a graduation stage.
My name is Beth Mathias, and 4 months ago, Hillary Clinton sat with me in a donut shop in Marion, Ohio, and she asked to hear my story.
I'm Jake Reed. I was so happy after we got hired last month at Pizza Studio that I immediately shared the news on Snapchat.
She fired me and Jake for talking about our wages, and she never answered my question about why I was going to be paid less.
Thank you. As governor of Pennsylvania, it has been an honor to host you here in Philadelphia this week.
All right, Democrats! I actually want to speak tonight to those Americans who feel you've been left behind.
It's an honor to be here. Candidly, it's also a shock.
One of my first memories is standing outside our Richmond, Virginia polling place with my dad.
Good evening. I am the youngest of 8 children born to migrant workers.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. For 19 years, my son Moses Walker protected us as a Philadelphia police officer.
We hear a lot
about the problems in big cities.
My husband and best friend, Thor Soderberg, joined the Chicago police to help people. Once he got a call about a boy who had stolen a belt. The boy only had a rope to keep his pants up.
What, are you gonna cry now?
McFly, your shoes are dying. Don't be so gullible, McFly.
Dude, buttwad. Don't you know how to knock phlegmwad?
You sit down. Sit down. You are a disgusting fat body, Private Pyle.
I'd look her right in that fat, ugly face of hers.
She ate like a pig.
You're so stupid.
Stupid. How stupid are the people of the country? I want to see you in here. Okay. Get him out of here. Get out. Get the hell out of here.
Come on, cry me.
He's like a little baby.
Cry.
You gotta see this guy. Oh, I don't know what I said. Oh, I don't remember.
Good evening, my brothers and sisters.
I'm Michael Jordan, and I'm here with Hillary.
Have you even read the United States Constitution? I will gladly lend you my copy.
I wasn't born in America, but I serve this great country every day.
I stand with you tonight, a retired four-star general, all of us together, that Hillary Clinton will be exactly the kind of commander-in-chief America needs, of America at our very best. Our veterans will be thanked by a grateful nation.
I am here tonight not as a Democrat or Republican. I'm here as a proud immigrant to this country.
So this is my very first Democratic National Convention.
I grew up in Mansfield, Ohio. My dad was the town doctor.
Good evening. Buenas noches. Thank you.
So, both of my parents are pastors and staunch Republicans.
Ladies and gentlemen, my mother, my hero, and our next president, Hillary Clinton.
Thank you all so much. And Bill, that conversation we started in the law library 45 years ago, it is still going strong. And I want to thank Bernie Sanders. And to all of your supporters here and around the country, I want you to know, I've heard you. Too many people haven't had a pay raise since the crash. There's too much inequality, too little social mobility, too much paralysis in Washington, where love trumps hate. And so, my friends, it is with humility, determination, and boundless confidence in America's promise that I accept your nomination for President of the United States. I get it that some people just don't know what to make of me. I believe in science. If fighting for affordable childcare and paid family leave is playing the woman card, then deal me in. We will disrupt their efforts online to reach and radicalize young people in our country. It won't be easy or quick, but make no mistake, we will prevail. Now, Donald Trump says, and this is a quote, "A man you can bait with a tweet is not a man we can trust with nuclear weapons." I just don't want you to be shot by someone who shouldn't have a gun in the first place. I got this from my mother, too. She never let me back down from any challenge. When I tried to hide from a neighborhood bully, she literally blocked the door. Go back out there, she said. Thank you, and may God bless you and the United States of America.
I don't know how I'm going to pray in this chaos.
Very emotional and probably looked like a nice guy to me. His wife, if you look at his wife, she was standing there. She had nothing to say. She probably, maybe she wasn't allowed to have anything to say. You tell me, but plenty of people have written that. She was extremely quiet, and it looked like she had nothing to say. A lot of people have said that, and personally, I watched him. I wish him the best of luck.